All right, team. Welcome again to another Wealth Transfer Alliance call. We're excited to have this call as usual. I really appreciate our leaders. Our leaders tend to plug in every call we have, whether it's a Monday night training or whether it's a Thursday night. You guys are always on point. Leaders know the way, they show the way, and they go the way. Leaders don't make excuses. Leaders find a way. And my wife will tell you, anybody know me, I'm going to work my way straight to the top because hard work always beat talent. All right. So it doesn't matter how talented you are. If you put that work in, you're going to always rise to the top. It doesn't matter whether it's in your church, in your family, at work, in your hobbies, especially in business. It's always the hardest worker. If you become the hardest worker in the room, the money going to find you. Okay. And so I'm super excited to be with you leaders because you guys are always here plugging in each and every week. And Derek Johnson, our CEO, and I'm super proud of each and every one of you. We're humbled by your presence, and we have a great call lined up for you this evening. Now, a lot of you know about our four verticals that we currently have, and the newest addition, of course, is our PEO. Now, if you remember hearing me talk about that PEO, either on one of our training calls, or maybe you heard us talking about it during our opportunity presentation, somebody like give me a emoji, a hand up, or a thumbs up, or something to let us know that you remember hearing about this PEO. It's not new to you. There you go. You guys been waiting and waiting on the time to come to just dig in and learn more about it. So Derek and I, we learned as much as we could, but it's nothing like having the subject matter expert on the call with you. Nothing like it. And I remember the moment we were introduced to Gina, and it was like what do you call it? A match made in heaven, right, Gina? I know Gina and I when we got on the call, and I was like, so tell me, what is a PEO? Because I'm like a lot of you, I never even heard the word PEO. What does a PEO do? And, she just started laying it out, telling us all about it. It felt like family talking to her. And I said, you know what? This may be something we might want to bring to WTA because we like innovative products. We don't want to be in the lane of traffic, bumper to bumper, where everybody at doing the same thing. Sometimes you want to get on a lane that there's no one on, so you're not stuck in traffic. And this is a lane here that I believe is wide open for all of us. But once you understand it, you'll be able to really get into it and make yourself some good residual income. So with that being said, I want to just open up the microphone for Gina. Gina, I don't want to mispronounce your name. I just call her by Nina, but it looked like Carvana.
It is.
Did
It's
I say
Carvana.
did I say it right?
You certainly did,
So
Professor.
Gina Carvana, we're gonna let her have the floor, the microphone. She's gonna talk to all of us tonight. We can keep it very informal because this is a time for us to learn. Our call is WTA Learn for a reason, and there's no such thing as a dumb question. The only question that's dumb is the one that's not asked, because even geniuses ask questions. Okay, so I want you guys to feel comfortable and to open up and ask questions. And feel free. It doesn't matter how, as silly it may be. You should have heard some of the questions I had for her when we first met. But we've met multiple times. We met face to face. We even had a kickoff event that we did recently in downtown DC, which was super exciting. And so I'm just so excited here to have Gina with us. So, Gina, the floor is yours. You can kick it off and tell us all about Insperity, yourself, PEO, the team. They're all ears.
Well, thank you very much. And I appreciate the introduction. You did better than I could, I think there. But thank you guys for welcoming me here today. And we're long overdue for this conversation, and I'm glad that we set aside the time to do this. You guys meet late, though. I'm impressed. So there's definitely a lot of energy and interest, and I think enthusiasm for what you're doing that you're here, right? And so I'm glad to be here talking to you as well. So again, my name is Gina Carvana. I think you may have met my colleague Rodney Goodson at a previous meeting.
Sure did.
Um, Good, good. Rodney is one of our newest sales reps that I'm bringing along, and I'm coaching him up. He's going to be another me in the territory, but I've been with Insperity for about 9 years, and I say that because if anyone has been in sales at any point in time, you understand there's a lot of turnover, there's a lot of churn in this space. And if you're able to hit a 3 or 5 year mark, typically, it's because you're doing well and you're doing something you love. I'm definitely doing something I love. For those of you that have never heard of Insperity before, don't be daunted. We're probably the one of the biggest companies you've never heard of.
Right.
Um, and we like that, and that's fine. A lot of my work is really an evangelist. I educate business owners. Maybe 20 or 30% will turn into business for me, but I really do feel that my purpose is to educate small organizations. And that is one of the things that has drawn me to this company, is the reason why I stay, is because Insperity solely exists to support small businesses. And I'll talk about what a small business is in a second, what we consider a small business. But that was a big change for me. I mean, I started out in my career in IT. I was an engineer with IBM for 20 years. I raised a couple, three kids. And then when I went back out into the workforce, I needed to do something that was really going to be my passion, that I really wanted to do. Um, Big companies are great, but I really felt my niche was going to be working with small organizations, nonprofits, small business owners. And really, my why is my dad was a small business owner, right? And I saw him struggle throughout the years and making payroll and were we going to have Christmas and, because we got to make sure we don't lay anyone off. And it's a struggle, and it's probably 50 times worse now with all the complexity of running a business than it was 40 years ago. So, so that certainly is why I joined Insperity. And to give you a little background about what we do, Insperity was started 42 years ago, two people in a small room. And the owner was a serial entrepreneur, started multiple businesses, and always saw a gap in smaller businesses being able to get over the hump. And that is reaching a size where you're too small to be a big business, but you're too big to be really considered a small business, right? So there's certain challenges that happen at different stages, depending on the industry, but there's definitely become different humps in the growth of a company, right? One of the first humps is getting over all of your administrative nightmare. That is one thing that a lot of small business owners, nonprofit organizations, 4 and 5 employees, they're struggling with. How do I just manage all this stuff? Payroll, timekeeping, all that HR stuff. The second issue becomes compliance, right? How do I stay compliant with all of the government regulation? It's not just federal regulation. If I'm above 50 employees, there are a lot of mandates for federal, but state regulations. Then there are municipalities, and Tacoma Park, Maryland has their own rules around PTO, paid time off. So being compliant, we know from working with thousands of small businesses, that's something that can sink a business, is staying compliant. And it's not because business owners aren't trying to be compliant. It's just there's so much to know. So that's the second piece. There's administrative problems or challenges, and then there's compliance. The next and last biggest problem with affecting small organizations: benefits, right? We know in the United States, the employer is responsible for providing benefits in some way, shape, or fashion. It's the government has put on small business owners, nonprofits, we're not a single payer country. You have to go to your employer to get benefits. So that's the way we're set up. And that becomes the biggest challenge money-wise for small businesses. I meet a lot of companies that they will keep their workers as 1099s because they don't want to provide benefits or they don't want to manage the compliance, when really, in order for them to grow, they need to bring on employees, right? I mean, part of owning a business is developing your employees, growing your culture, growing your business, extending your reach. And you're not always able to do that as a small business if you're not bringing those people on closely to you and making them sticky to your organization, your company. But benefits are a challenge for small businesses. They're expensive and they go up 10 or 15% every year, right? So our founders decided those were going to be the three areas where we were going to help small businesses. And we help them in a very, very unique way. And this is the part where I go out and I educate all my business owners about what we do. Because most companies, most organizations aren't aware of this option. A PEO is a professional employer organization. A professional employer organization is certified by the IRS to do business in this space. All right. So you have to show your financials, you have to make sure you're stable, right? All those things get you certification by the IRS to be a professional, a certified professional employer organization. What we do is we become the outsourced vendor. We become your HR outsourced partner to the small organization, right? So we're managing your payroll, everything around administration we're doing. We're providing the benefits. We're doing all the compliance. And what is compliance? It's every small business thinks the first thing I need is I need my handbook, right? Maybe I need to write job descriptions. I'm trying to get job notices out, right? How do I do that in a compliant way, right? A lot of business owners don't know there's certain terminology that needs to be in job descriptions and job notices. Some companies, for those of you all in Baltimore, Maryland, you can't do background checks, right, until you're at a certain stage of the employment. So there are a lot of things that the small business owner has to contend with. They leave that to us. So Insperity becomes not just the consulting to that owner or to that business. We become legally responsible. That is the difference between someone that's just an HR consultant and Insperity, who are professional employers. So I'm gonna take 1 second and see if anybody has any questions before I kind of jump into a little bit more detail on that.
That's awesome. Thanks, Gina. That's a good stopping point there for you
Okay.
to take a break. And so, ladies and gents, if you have any questions up until this point, feel free because she's going to dive into a few more details. So if you have a question, you can drop it in the chat box, of course, or you can raise your hand. All right, I see a hand up. That's my younger brother there, Edward Riley. Edward, meet Gina.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Riley.
That's
Edward.
that's another rally. That's what I'm talking. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Look, I am super excited to hear the way you're breaking this down because I'm not gonna lie, I've been so busy with everything else what we do. I really didn't get a chance to dive into what Insperity was doing. But so in a nutshell, and I know you're gonna dive into a little bit more, you come in and can help a company, a new business or an existing business, get their
Correct.
HR together.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. All right.
Correct.
See, that's okay. All right. Okay. Say no
We
more.
are we are the HR back office, and it's a good point you bring up, whether it's a new business or an existing business. So we call them whether you're in a startup mode or if you're kind of in that growth mode, right, we can help you in both those scenarios. The difference being in a startup mode, a lot of times you're not even aware of what the expense and payroll burden is if you haven't had employees yet. So
Hmm.
I can come in and help you budget and understand what the cost of hiring is. All right. A lot of small business owners, like I said, you're often working when you're starting out with a trusted circle, right? Maybe it's your wife or your son or daughter. It's a trusted circle. You're not so worried about being compliant. But as soon as you start to say, I need to hire that first assistant or business development person or whomever it may be, right? You need to budget for that payroll burden, which becomes, right? I've got to pay my employer taxes, right? I've got to figure out, do I need to offer benefits? Now, you as a small business, you don't have to offer benefits, but do I need to in order to attract the employees that I need to make sticky to my company, right?
Right.
What are my competitors doing? Are they offering benefits or not, right? So the whole point is to level the playing field for the smaller businesses to be able to compete with everyone else that can afford benefits. So
Gotcha.
I help you cost that out, right? And we run a model and you say, Gina, I think in the end of 18 months, I may be 5 employees. right? I'm going to cost that out for you so that you know, as a business owner, over and above salary, what people cost me, right?
Right.
So that's for taxes, benefits, workers' compensation, right? You have to have a policy and a schedule of operations for every place where you have an employee sitting, right? So all those things I need to be compliant, all my HR ongoing compliance, there's a cost associated with that. And every employer has the choice of either building it or buying it. They either build it internally by hiring someone to do their HR, whether it starts off as an office manager or your admin, or you outsource it, right? So that question is always, do I build it or buy it, right? Do I
Right.
buy the services from Insperity or do I build it internally?
Right.
We are always going to be cheaper than building it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm long-winded. I'm
No, no, good job. I think you elaborated greatly. You helped out a lot of other people as well.
good, good, good. Thank you
We,
for the question.
we must be related, Gina. I'm long-winded too. Oh, that hot air, Goodyear blimp. That's what I can do. But no, but I think no, that was perfect because you're passionate about what you're doing, and it shows. Someone dropped in the chat. You take on lawsuits. Is that right?
Yes. So part of the compliance model is we provide employers' practices liability insurance.
Okay.
Most owners never even heard of it, but it is the only policy that protects you from lawsuit, right? So this coverage, not a lot of people get it because it's expensive for one. And two, typically when you're starting off, you're, like I said, you're with that trusted circle. You're not expecting your brother-in-law or your wife to sue you, right, for EEO complaint or something or hiring practices. But it happens. So when it happens, what do you do? If you don't have an EPLI policy in place, you go out and you hire an attorney and you pay a retainer about $5,000 to $10,000 just for your retainer, right, for that attorney. Because even if it's a frivolous lawsuit, you still have to respond, right? So those are the types of compliance things and exposures to risk that small business owners, it can end up sinking them, right? Because just responding to a lawsuit can wipe out my cash flow to make payroll. So what we do is we provide EPLI insurance. EPLI insurance is just part of the blanket coverage we provide, along with the workers' comp and the benefits. It's going to protect you from anything that results in a lawsuit. So those are things like hiring practices. Before someone is even an employee, if you ask the wrong question on an interview, right, they can sue you for hiring practices. Wrongful terminations. EEO complaints, sexual harassment, all of those things, anything that can result in a lawsuit for something that's done by either you or your leadership, right? That's what we cover you for. So we don't just provide the guidance, all right? Because often our clients are calling us saying, I've I've got to terminate this employee. I don't know how to do it. Give me some advice. They're calling us for the guidance on how to do it properly. But still, if something goes sideways and someone files a lawsuit, what happens, right? So we stand behind our advice by providing that EPLI coverage as well. So that covers you for the legal expense as well as the settlement up to $3 million for unlimited number of incidences. Now we're hoping you wouldn't have a lot of complaints on that front, but it is meant to make you feel comfortable in your practices and in our advice that you're covered should anything go awry. Thank you for that question,
Awesome.
Ryan.
Awesome.
Mhm.
All right. And okay, the next question in the chat, then I'll circle back to Mr. Claude, who has his hand up. Thank you, Claude, for waiting patiently. And then Tim Harris had a question. So the next question in the chat is, do you offer bilingual people, particularly Spanish? Do they bilingual people do they offer have Let me see if I can read that. Some employers may
We do have bilingual support. Is that the
yeah, yeah.
question?
Yeah, it was
Mhm.
kind of worded differently, but it's basically saying, do you have bilingual staff who can support companies that are Spanish and other languages because that's their
Absolutely.
primary language.
Absolutely. So we do that in a couple ways. If you have Spanish speaking or any language, actually, I think there are 3 or 4 languages we support.
Oh, good.
Um, but if they have questions when they call in, part of our compliance model is we provide every client we have with a contact center number for their employees, right? So your employees aren't coming to you saying, I don't understand my benefits, or I need my pay stub, or could you set up my direct deposit, right? They call us.
Hmm.
And so that contact center does have bilingual support, or I don't understand, my bills, or they have that bilingual support. And we do our orientations. If you require bilingual support, we will have bilingual support for orientations because we're coming in, when we bring you aboard, we're coming in to explain all the benefits to your employees for you. We don't expect you to try to sift through everything and explain deductibles and copays. We do all of that for you.
Right.
So,
A
mhm.
true peak and pass, guys. And that's what we're all about here. We want to pique the interest of these business owners, 5 or more employees. Am I right, Gina? We're looking for that.
Absolutely.
That's like the sweet spot. But it could be 3. What if it's 3? We could possibly consider that too, right?
So that is the startup mode,
Yes,
right? So we consider them a startup, and that's where we would be doing some modeling. Now, I have brought on clients that was one person, right? Because he said, I'm getting a government contract and I know I'm going to have to hire 2 or 3 people in the next 3 months. So I want to get this infrastructure implemented now, right? So we can hire with the anticipation of we can bring you on board with the anticipation of future hires. But
awesome.
at the end of a year, you need to be at around 3 employees minimum. Hmm.
That sounds like a plan. All
Hmm.
right, Claude, your hand has been up. Thank you again for waiting. You are now able to unmute.
Good evening, Gina.
Hi, Claude.
Hey, question. I had one of my advocate partners ask this question a few weeks ago when you first came on. And that question being for a company that has one of those, a startup company may have been around for a few years. So
Hmm.
they kind of build some integrity to the people in the HR department.
Hmm.
And the question is, if you all take over the HR, what
Hmm.
happens to those individuals? And I'm thinking, some people, it's my thought, and I may you could correct me, is that's a business decision. At some point, they just not gonna be able to do what needed to be done, and that's where you guys will step in. So they will either have to reallocate them as another position within the company, or and was my thinking correct in that?
You are, Claude, and that's why when we usually are talking to the CEO or the CFO or the COO, we're rarely talking directly to the HR director or HR right? Because they think that we're coming in to take over their job, and it's hard to have a conversation on that front.
You got that
But
right.
really, when you're the size company where you've already invested in HR people, people are expensive, right? So we want to say, hey, let us take all of the things off of his or her plate that aren't a good use of their time. Managing payroll, doing time tracking, writing handbooks. Let us do the work, right? And you reserve your expensive people to do things like aligning your business with your mission, vision, and values, right? Developing your culture. What is my strategic plan? Because HR plays a really big part in developing my strategic growth, right? If you hire someone that really knows HR, they want to do HR stuff. They don't want to write job descriptions, right? So we like that. We like having someone in that company that has an HR focused person because what that HR person can now do is take the business strategies and translate those into HR initiatives that we can work on. And I'll give you a good example is, we're planning to grow 50% in the next 3 years. From an HR standpoint, that person is immediately going to be thinking succession plan and professional development, because now I'm going to have more layers of management. How do I move my first level district manager to a supervisory regional manager, right? And so that HR person is thinking, I need to have some initiatives in place for professional development and skills building, right? They need to take that direction, that goal, and translate it into the work that we then do. So what do? We put together the curriculum for professional development. We deliver the classes for that professional development, right? We help them develop org charts. But we do all of the heavy lifting. They translate the work into the strategy and goals into the types of work products that we do. So we're not replacing them. You're right. We're repurposing them and making sure that what they're doing is more valuable than just doing administrative things.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Awesome. Good questions. Everybody, great questions. Tim Harris, Team Harris, they want to know, how do you pitch this to large corporations that has their own HR department already?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that goes along with Claude's question was, are we talking about replacing people? And we are not. We're talking about take that talented HR team you have, which are typically very expensive. I mean, the headcount for an HR person in the DC metro area, if they're an HR director, could be about $130,000, $150,000 salary, right? So what do you do with that expensive headcount? You don't want them doing administrative things. So that's where we talk about repurposing them to free them up to do more strategic things, right?
Excellent.
Hmm.
Great questions, guys. Keep it coming. And Gina, thank you. You're doing phenomenal. People are putting comments in the chat how much they appreciate it already.
Oh,
Um,
good.
next question, Cassandra want to know, do you have an employee relations process prior to termination? If so, how long is the process?
Oh, terminations is always an interesting topic.
It-
Terminations are, I've been on the phone with a client and their HR specialist at 11 o'clock at night talking about a termination that they wanted to do imminently. There are different thresholds for terminations. If something's dangerous, we're going to tell you, don't wait for us for guidance. You terminate, right? Typically, your gut is telling you the right thing to do when it's the right thing to do. What we're there to do is back support you, right? So if you've
Right.
already terminated someone, we're going to then talk to you the next morning and say, okay, let's look at the downside of what could happen from this. Do we have all of their last performance appraisals, right? Because we're there in the background saying, hey, you guys, let's get a performance appraisal process in place. All right. So we're just backstopping and making sure we've got things in place. So if there was any kind of lawsuit, we can, reasonably, we can defend you, right? So we're there to protect you. From an employee relations standpoint, when you're planning for a termination or you're planning for something that's detrimental, we're there to guide you. So your services team that's assigned to you, you have their cell phone number, you have their desk number. It's not a call center. We write down a case number. If you're located in Maryland, we have service team members in Maryland, in Virginia, in every state, right? We're across the country. So you have someone local to talk to, right? So our model is very, very different from an ADP or Paychex or TriNet. We're physical people that can come out and sit in the room with you if you have a termination that you're afraid to be alone with that person, right? So it's a different way of dealing with things, but we're there to hold your hand to protect you from lawsuit. Because why? It's our policy, right? Protecting you is protecting us. So because we don't sell you an EPLI policy, we bring you onto our policy. So that means that we have to do all the diligence we would do as though we were protecting Insperity and protecting you the same way as even a small, maybe five-person company.
That's powerful. You're talking about a company that's been around since 1980s, guys, that's worth over $6 billion, a publicly traded company since on the New York Stock Exchange, protecting a company as little as 3 to 5 employees and up. Now, you think
Mhm.
about that. That's a huge value to bring to any small business. And I appreciate you, Gina, bringing that up. Someone said, could you talk about better benefit costs?
Absolutely. Um, one other thing, if you're working with any companies or know any companies that typically have higher or dicey workers' comp situations, I can tell you that when you're partnered with a company as big as us, when you mentioned our size,
Right.
we tend to deter frivolous injury claims, right? Because now that employee knows they've gotten the power of Insperity behind them. We do the investigations, right? We do all the nice things too, like all the back to work and making sure you've got your disability or whatever you need. But it's the power of having a very large company to support you. So benefits, like, right? They're expensive. What we do, I mentioned before that we don't sell insurance. We're not interested in selling insurance. And the difference is we bring your pool of employees onto our pool, right? So we've got about 700,000 or more, it's always increasing, 700,000 lives on our one plan, right? That one plan is made up of about 20 different types of medical plans, but it's one cafeteria plan. So you think about a pool of almost 1 million people on one with one company on one plan, we're able to give those pricings to you,
Nice.
that price point to you, right? So it's against the law for us to make any profit on benefits, right? So we have to extend benefit costs at exactly what it cost us in Insperity. That is typically 15-ish to 20% less than the market. So what we do is it's called shadow pricing. If you're offering benefits now, we take a look at what the market bears for you, for your pool, because we're not underwriting. We're essentially looking at what the market says, and we know based on just the size of our pool and the fact that we don't have commissions built in or anything like that, we can come in about 15 to 20% less than what you're spending, right?
Wow.
And about 10% less than the workers' comp piece. So now you're probably starting to think, I can take the savings that I'm getting on the benefits and the workers' comp, and it may pay for what it costs me to hire Insperity's HR team, right? So that's what we're going for. We're looking for it to be either a small net investment or a wash, all right? We can save you as much as it costs to bring us on board.
That is awesome. Awesome, awesome to know that because of the power of the numbers, people can get better benefits. That's
Better benefits, better design benefits, all PPO benefits, all I hate to bring this up sometimes now, but we have been partnered with United Healthcare for 15 years because United Healthcare, good or bad, has the largest network of providers in the country. So if you think about it, in the DMV, Care First is pretty strong, right? Kaiser, pretty strong, but they're strong regionally,
mm-hmm,
right? They're not strong nationwide. So
mm-hmm.
we partner with United Healthcare because no matter where you go in the country and travel, I know I can find someone in network to take care of me, right? Whereas if you're with a Kaiser, there is no Kaiser, I don't even think in Southern Virginia. Right? And so heaven forbid you're in Milwaukee and something happened on vacation. I don't know anybody that vacations in Milwaukee, but I'm just
The
saying
Milwaukee chasing that beer around, but I get it.
it's out of pocket, right? You're out of network. So
Exactly.
so we partner with them because it is the largest network of providers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to our chat. Quite a few questions here, a couple of comments. People are saying this is impressive. Okay, we already answered that one. Someone said this is amazing. This is good. I'm glad you guys are picking up what Gina is putting down. All right. Planning for resolution. Thank you. Okay, got it. Tim Harris, as an advocate, will we be able to, do we have any flyers and brochures that you could share with us that we could share with the public?
That was actually one of my points to talk about was how to engage with me. And I want to thank Jarvis Bailey, who just reached out and said, Gina, I want to talk to you. All right. So thank you and we sat down for about a half an hour and talked about how to work together. Everybody's going to have a different network I can give you some guidance on the best things to do. I will send you some flyers. I have CEO kind of uh, Inc. 5000 article reprint that's excellent at explaining why it's important to engage with a PEO. And then, of course, all the flyers and everything about the benefits. But here's the important thing is I want to give you just enough information to pique their interest so that I can set up a meeting and deliver the messaging because there's so many moving parts that I don't want you guys getting too caught up in trying to sell it, but simply, pique their
He can pass.
interest
He can
and
pass.
he
That's
can
right.
pass. And we note that you are getting, it's your referral and WTA and Brian and Derek, they know it's your referral. You will get paid on it. And I will take the ball from there, right? Keep you apprised of where it is in the process. Um, but yeah, I'm more than happy to provide any kind of literature you'd like to have, especially if you want to read up on it yourself. But when you're doing a referral, I'll send you a sample email to send out. But it's as simple as, hey, I think Gina has something that she can share with you that might help your organization. I
Exactly.
will follow up and set a meeting. All right.
The gentleman the other day, did they think their HR? Actually, it was Wendell. Wendell's on the call with us tonight. Wendell Cheatham and I was talking to a doctor's office, and I asked them, "Do you think your HR department is strong, or could it use some improvement?" And they said, "Oh, we're paying too much already. There's a lot about our HR we don't like." And I said,
Hmm.
"So when we get done talking to you about one of our other benefits, we'd like to introduce you into this one." And they
Hmm.
were like, "Sure, by all means." And that was it. I said, "I'm
Hmm.
not selling it. I'm not going to talk any further. I'm going to get you on the phone with the subject matter expert." And that was as easy peasy, one, two, three, easy as it can get. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's always tempting to want to talk and explain things, but try to stay out of the weeds of that. Let your subject matter experts do the talking. Gina been working with Insperity for over a decade. Now, who's better to talk about it? You, you and I, who've been doing it for less than 30 days, or her who've been doing it. You've been with them close to 10 years, right, Gina? How long
It
you been?
is. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think you know more, way more than we could ever know. All
And
right,
I'm always learning more. So,
every day.
yeah.
Okay, Naira out of California. I'm gonna try to unmute you right now. I saw your hand up earlier, and I saw you put a question in the chat. Naira, you're free to move about the cabin. Can you talk? Maybe she can, maybe she can't. There we go.
Oh, okay. There it is. Hey, good
Hey,
evening,
Nair.
everybody. Sorry, I came in late. I was trying my best to get on as fast as I can. And thanks, Gina. So, question. I know that because you guys are going to be part owner of a company, is evaluation of the company done, or is important, or is that not discussed? I was just curious.
Yeah, in our analysis of the company, we do some risk analysis. So we will ask a few questions. For example, have you had any recent lawsuits in the past year? Have you had any workers' comp claims, right? Doesn't necessarily disqualify you. But we do an assessment based on the risk because, as you can imagine, we're trying to balance the risk across our entire company, right? So we're usually not going to bring on a lot of companies that are high in risk because we want to protect our pool. We don't want, and I'll be straight up, a lot of companies that have very, very tough workers' comp infrastructure
Hmm.
we will probably not do business with them, or it may be a state that allows the company to retain their own workers' comp. And then in those states, we can do
Got
business
it.
with you. Yeah.
So, okay, the outside of the risk, what about the value of the company? Like
No
yeah, okay.
revenue. We're not looking at revenue. No. It's essentially without getting too much into the weeds, it's because we're paying your payroll for you on your behalf, and we're paying all the taxes on your behalf, there is a threshold where we'll say, is your payroll more than $600,000 in any payroll period? And in those cases, I've had several clients where their payroll is more than $1 million in a payroll period, then we will run some financials. but
All right.
for the most part, it's not revenue related. It's just whether or not you can make your payroll. Because I will tell you by law, even if you can't come up with your payroll, Insperity by law has to make payroll for you. So
Okay.
imagine the situation that puts the company
Yeah.
in, right? Yeah,
Got it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
absolutely.
That right there was special. You can't make payroll. I need to sign you up for WTA. We can make payroll, but I'm gonna tell you, it's good to know that $1 billion brand backing you up, and I can dig into Big Brother's pockets. I'm gonna dig deep too, because y'all got billions. I'm gonna pull out. Y'all gonna say, Brian, what you doing? I'm taking my share, the lion's share. No, but that's good to know. No, but for those companies that's struggling like that, and I'm grateful that WTA we are debt free and we don't struggle like that, thank God. But it's just good to know that if a company is struggling, you have their back. Okay, Joe
Absolutely.
asked a great question in the chat. Joe said, we're talking about small businesses. That's great, but what about the large businesses? I work with some large businesses that they have they do computers, lots of forms completed, updated, etc. This company has
Hmm.
grown to 30, 40 locations all over
Hmm.
the US, 30 to 40 employees per location.
Hmm.
Can you handle a company that's large as well?
Absolutely. So that's a great question. We've got three kind of distinct businesses in our company. We've got this core business that's from 1 to 150 employees. That's where I work. Then there's called mid-market. It's from about 150 to 500. That's also where I work. Now, we've also got an enterprise side.
Mhm.
Enterprise is where we scale up with our partnership with Workday. You may have heard they handle very, very large companies. So I'm actually working with a client now that's a huge construction company. They've got like 3,000 employees,
Nice.
right? Can we do something for them? Absolutely. We can do, and then they have multiple companies underneath them. Can we do? Absolutely, we can. But in those situations, because it's so much more complex, I partner with a team of people that do the analysis, right? And put together the proposal with that team because it's just a lot more complex. But yes, we do scale up. We started off with Netflix was a client, right? When they were two people, they outgrew us, right? We started off with HelloFresh, two people, they outgrew us, right? At about now 20 to 80,000 employees is not unheard of because we now have Workday partnership.
All right. Great.
Mhm.
Okay. Is there any reason, JB out of Georgia, want to know, is there any reason why Insperity would not accept the partnership?
If we have terminated a partnership in the past, we rarely will renew again. Sometimes clients want to come back. But if we have initiated a partnership because of a relationship, sometimes we terminate partnerships because the client is difficult. We've had situations where the CEO was actually harassing someone. I mean, so there are situations where we're not like-minded, and we like working with clients that are interested in doing the best thing for their employees. So there have been situations where we've terminated. As far as bringing them on, I'm telling you, we're so flexible now. Even in my 10 years with the company, we've changed a lot in our flexibility, and the laws have changed in our ability to work with clients. I will say in Maryland, Maryland is interesting, only state in the country where you have to be at least 50 employees to use our benefits. Now, I have lots of clients in Maryland because they need HR. They need HR and they need workers' comp, but they have to retain their own medical plans through their broker, or I have broker partners as well. Um, we can get a policy for them, but they can't take advantage of the cost savings on our benefits unless they get reach 50 employees.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
That's good to know. Maryland, we're special, Marylanders. Now, I'm by way of Virginia. Okay, I grew up in VA, but I've been here over 20 years, so I know Maryland is special. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Um, Beverly want to know, do you use your own payroll services and not use services like ADP, Paylocity, and such?
Our payroll services are ours. We're also a very, very large technology company. So we've developed our own payroll. It's the same payroll I use internally, right, for the company. Our clients use the same thing we use, but we developed our own payroll because we're responsible for making sure it's right. We can't rely on anyone else or outsource that to anyone else. So it is our payroll technology.
Okay. And how big is Insperity and how many locations? And I went to the website and there's lots of locations, but somebody wanted, Joe want to know that.
There are about 100 locations now. There may be more since last fall, but at least we say that we're in every football town, and then some. So there are more than 100 locations. There's typically a service team nearby, but our service team travels. If you need someone to come out and sit with you and talk to you or meet with you, right? Our service team, they travel. So I actually have a client in upstate New York that the orientation is on site to take all the employees through onboarding, and we're going on site into Saratoga Springs. So yes, we do. We serve everyone nationwide.
Awesome. And one of my advocates asked about what was that again about owning part of the company? She thought she heard something about owning some of the company. Was something said along that line, Insperity owning part of the companies or not?
No,
Right.
no. So Insperity has no ownership or interest in our clients at all. The co-employment relationship, and this is part of the weeds, but the co-employment relationship, what the IRS says we can do, this is how we take on legally the responsibility for our work. We take your employees and we run them under our EIN number. We don't affect any designations, right? So if you're a hub zone, woman-owned business, Alaskan Native, whatever. We don't affect your designations, but we run your employees under our EIN, and then we write a letter to the states and say we are working on their behalf. Any notifications, delinquencies, they come to us because now we are seen as legally responsible for paying your taxes.
I
Okay.
love it. I
That's
love
how
it.
that's the mechanism that makes that work, but we have no ownership interest in your company.
Hey guys, I used to be, and you know my background. I'm a licensed registered nurse and been licensed in insurance and annuities for years. And so has our business partner here and CEO and founder, Derek Johnson, as well. Been doing insurance for years. And the one thing Derek and I pride ourselves on as a professor and as a coach is knowledge. And when we did insurance, we didn't want people running around ignorance on fire. There's nothing worse than an insurance agent who's ignorant on fire because they're going to misrepresent something and you don't want that. But in this opportunity, what we have right now with Insperity, you don't need to be, you can have your knowledge on ice. All of this knowledge that we're giving you, you can ice it, okay? Because we don't want you out there even trying to explain any of this. You hear all this knowledge that she's given us? That's for your understanding, for your edification, for your confidence. But remember, you want to stay out of the weeds of trying to explain this. You want to be ignorance on fire. You want to be enthusiastic. You want to say, hey, listen, if there's a way to help your company do what you do better, and every CEO want to win. There's not a CEO alive or a president that want their company to fail. And if they're struggling in a certain area, and let's say that area happen to be human resources, and you come in like a superhero, Black Panther or a Superman, flying in with a cape, and you say, listen, I know the people who can possibly help you. Why not spend a few minutes hearing them out? And then you pique their interest and pass them over to Gina and her staff, and you let them go to work. And anything they need, Gina can get it to them. If they
Yeah.
need brochures or flyers or explanations, she knows exactly where the sweet spot is. And
Mhm.
so this is a good business model that we have here to really build a tremendous amount of residual income. I can't say that enough. So there's a lot of information coming forth. Do not let it overwhelm you. If this was financial services, I would be saying take notes, write it down, go home and lock it in and get some flashcards and study it. But you don't have to do that here, guys. Just let it soak in, breathe, relax, rejoice, reflect, and get excited and hand them off peek them and pass them. So I appreciate all the questions, Gina. We're almost at the top of the hour, and we like to go strong, but we don't want to go too long. And so, with that being said, there's been a lot of great questions. We're at the bottom of the chat, but we're at the top of the hour. And so, when the last person said, "That's great," can the company select some of your Can the company select some of your services? Or is it like a la carte, or must it be like you got to take them all? Like, is it a package deal, or can they do some of the services? That's a great question.
It's a great question. We charge per person per month, right? So as companies scale up, they're only adding that incremental cost. As they scale down, that cost goes away. But you get all of the services for that per person charge. You don't have to budget for different services, right? Like, oh, I need a handbook. How much more is that going to cost me? Or now I want to add learning and development. How much more does that cost me? It's everything you need from an HR back office included in that per person per month charge. So you never have to think about it.
Awesome. Hey, I like the thought. Hey, how many of y'all like that? You never had to think about it. I don't want to think. Why do we want to think anyway? Most of us have very busy lives as it is, and you don't want to add one more thing to your brain because it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. You got to
And
learn.
we're getting old.
Exactly. I was talking to David Richardson today, who's our senior statesman on the phone. He talked with me today, and David said, "Hey, Brian, I'm 81. I think he said he's 81 or over 80 or one of those." He said, "And you know what? Every second I'm getting older." I said, you got a point. Every second I'm getting older. So if I can pass it to you, Gina, I'm going to do that so I can save what little hair I still got on my head. Okay? So, so after
Absolutely.
after a lead is passed your way, how long does it take for you to contact that person, Gina?
Oh, the same day. So if you call, text, email, you can just simply send an introductory, add me to the CC line, and I'll pick it up from there. All right. I'm on email every day. I'll turn it around within 3 or 4 hours and reach back out and say, when would you like to meet with me? Right. I will keep you in the loop up to the point where we're talking, confidential information with them unless they want you to be on the meetings also, if you choose to learn more, or it's a very valuable client. Maybe you want to sit in on the meetings too. Totally up to you.
Oh,
All
we
right.
love our valuable clients. We treat them all valuable. We call them
Mhm.
VIPs. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Every client is a VIP.
But some are high maintenance though.
That's
So
right. And listen, thank you for saying that. I did a call Wednesday night, and somebody was asking me about that. Like, could they do what I do? I said, you want to do what I do with these high maintenance CEOs? And no, you don't. You're talking about fickle. But
yeah,
anyway, no, we appreciate you, and we're gonna bring you back.
a
I
pleasure.
suppose I suppose the average time to enroll a company once they say let's do it, it's pretty swift after that, right?
Yeah, we can do it as quickly as 20 days. We want to do it in 30 days, right? To allow for a natural kind of flow. 30 days is recommended.
Awesome. Gina, thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you
our
all so
call.
much. This was fun.
We want to bring you back again. So if we keep you too long, you're going to say no. So, so we're going to bring you back again, and we're going to do this again. But I want you, ladies and gentlemen, to really give it up for Gina. Come on, you guys.
Oh,
If you can
thank you.
unmute, give me a hand, give me some
No,
flower, hand up or
Thank you,
something.
Gina. Thank you. This is
no.
Saran.
Thanks for
Thank
being
you,
patient with
Gina.
me. Thanks so much. I
Thank
appreciate you
you.
all. Take
Thank you,
care.
Gina.
All right, Gina.
Okay.
Great
We're
job.
gonna
Thank you.
we're gonna circle back
Bye-bye.
with you, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye,
Stick
Gina.
around for a few more
Bye-bye.
minutes,
I'll
and
talk to you tomorrow.
That's right.
all right. Hey guys, you guys are awesome. Look at all that love y'all gave to Gina. You made her feel real special. And so we appreciate you. I just want to give you a couple of updates before we let you go. And I know 8 o'clock is a little late for some of you, but I remember when we used to do our last company, we used to start at 9. 9 o'clock business meetings, Eastern time. Well, we're right here at the top of the hour now. I want to give you a couple of updates before we let you go. I hope you got a lot out of that. I know I did. Um, Number one, remember Insperity, they can do mixers, and those mixers are awesome. If you want to, get when we have a mixer, we'll let you know, and you get your CEOs and your CFOs and the managers or whoever, you get them out to our mixer, and Gina and company will pick the location. They're going to pick the tab up, the food, the drinks, open bar. They have servers, the food's hot, and we're just all in there mixing it up. And I'm telling you, if you can get one of your businesses to a mixer and meet Gina and Rodney and us face to face, it's pretty much a done deal. And if you don't, and if you want to do it in your location, we have to talk about it to make sure there's some way to set it up near you. But if you can get enough people there, and some of our advocates will support and come out as well, and we'll try to fill the room. We want at least, 10, 20 people in the room. I think we had close to 40 last time. And boy, is it a lot of fun because everybody's in relaxed mode. People are getting off from work. And guess what people love to do? They love talking about themselves. So you get people in a room to talk about what they do. Oh boy, the energy's high. So I just want to, we'll remind you when the next mixer is coming up in the DMV district, Maryland and Virginia area. But if you're in a different state and you want to host a mixer, just let us know, let Gina know, and we'll try to set something up if it's feasible and it's, it's close enough to where you live. All right, I want to share this with you because some people asked me a couple of questions about the comp. So let me address, I didn't want to really get into the comp with Gina on the line because that's not her area. But what I do want to do is see if I can pull up my slide deck real quick and just share it quickly because it's real easy to understand our comp plan with this particular product. So I'm going to share my screen. Y'all excuse the mess on my desktop, but I got a lot of stuff open right now. All right, here we go. Let's see. This one. Let me scroll down to the comp. Almost there. Here we go. Let me enlarge that. Okay. So depending on what, you guys able to see my screen okay? All right, good. So it depends on what rank you're at. So if you achieve the title or rank of Wealth Advocate, you're going to earn between $2.30 to $4.15. The lead commissions are based on factors such as your title and the group size. And the PEO compensation is flat, is level. So you're going to make between $2.30 to $4.15. That number I chose there is the median in the middle in this example. So if let's say you're a partner, you can make up to $3.85 to $6.92 per employee per month. So let's say you had 1,500 employees over time. You could be making just by yourself over $8,000 a month. And what I love about this kind of compensation structure is that it's level and it compounds. I remember when I used to do a company called ACN, American Communication Network. Some of you probably heard of them. They're still here today. And we used to do long distance phone service. How many of you guys remember having a long distance phone bill? I don't know if you guys are old enough, but some of you don't remember. Some of you remember when we used to pay for long distance and it used to be like 10 cents a minute. Boy, did I hate making long distance calls. Hey, Uncle Bubba, got to go. Bye. Click. I just graduated from college. See you later. Bye. You kept them calls short because we paid by the minute. But even though we were charging people by the minute, we had customer usage pay. And customer usage pay used to be like 0.25%, 25 cents, 10 cents. Johnny Theodore, you're on the line. You know what I'm talking about. We did that ITI phone company years ago. But the customer usage pay, even though it was 0.25%, 0.5%, 1%, when you have 5,000, 3,000, 2,000 people or so in your group, over time, a few hundred people, that stuff adds up. It's like the compound effect. So what you want to do is get you a few businesses, build yourself a team, because when you build a team, you build a dream. And let me tell you what happened then. Now you're getting those spreads. So imagine making over 10,000 or 30,000 a month. If you had 1,500 over time and you were a partner, and let's say you enrolled a wealth advocate or two. In this example, we have 10 of them down there. And let's say you have one senior advocate in your organization, a total of 15 people in the entire group, and they're all just helping a few companies. Your overrides, even though they're like $1.89 and $2.16, that's over $9,000 a month. and you didn't even put those people in there. So let's say I recruited my buddy over there, Ron Kutchenberg. He was a senior advocate. And then Ron went out there and got 500 employees. And I was a partner up there. And Ron making between $2.50 to $4.50 per employee per month. I'm getting $1.89. That don't sound like a lot of money, do it? But when you multiply that by his 500 employees, I'm making what? A boatload of cash, $900 right there. I said 9,000, my fault. I had it covered up. I'm making over $900 right there every single month, month after month. And I'm telling you, as we get out here and we start helping businesses peak and what? Pass, peak and pass, peak and pass. And when you help one business, guess what they do? They give you referrals. So this thing surely can add up. And then you add in the rest of the products that we offer, the estate planning, the corporate employee benefits, the affordable medical benefits. And now you compound in all of that volume. So I want you guys to start really focusing in on enrolling advocates and affiliates because our websites and everything are very close to being developed. I got one announcement I want to make about that too. But when those websites come into play and you can really start marketing, guys, you need to build your team because when you build your team, you build a dream. You want to go wide for show, you want to build it deep for dough. And trust me, that's way while you're trying to find a few customers, you have an army of people trying to find a few customers. And there are going to be people putting them in, putting them in, putting them in, putting them in. And all of a sudden, your spread is going to become massive. And I'm telling you guys, that's when the fun begins. So always remember our next vertical, which is recruiting. We have 4 products. We call them verticals. But the big one is always be recruiting, ABR. Let me see, there's some questions in the chat. Okay, great. Our website is laugh out loud. Okay, I'm just going through this. Y'all guys are active in the chat. Y'all give me a second. Let me stop the share and get back to the chat. Are you guys understanding what I'm trying to say about the magic of the small numbers? Do you understand what I'm saying about building and compounding? You guys let me know that you're following me by giving me some kind of reactions in the, there you go, Norvell, got it. I see, hands clapping, thumbs up. Great. Okay, let me go back to the chat and then we'll wrap the call up. Somebody said, I know this is slightly off topic, but the online estate planning solution, what should I expect as a person who is selling it? Also, well, as a buyer, can you clarify the steps? I may have my first sale tomorrow. Hey, Coach Johnson, I don't know if you're in the place. I know I see your name in the place, but I don't know if you're in the place because I know you're out of town and you. I know
Hey,
you.
yeah, I'm sorry. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
I can hear you, man. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I know you're working,
Hey,
but
hey.
it's always good to see you. Hey, Coach, what's up, man? Okay,
Hey,
man.
yes.
Hey, listen, Trey asked a great question. And if you can answer it, that'd be great.
Okay.
He said, with the online estate planning solution, he said, what should I expect as a person who's selling it? I guess he's talking about money. We can talk about that. Also, as well as the buyer, what can they expect? And he said, can you clarify the steps? So basically, I guess sending a link right now, how we're doing the links. So if you can address,
Yeah, so it 100%. Can you hear me okay?
I got you.
All right. So the way in which things are current, uh, just to be changed in a couple of days, the way things are currently, there is a specific link for the purchase or the sale of the subscription of our estate planning solution. That's a main link that we have. You'll find it in our back offices on our March Gladness campaign flyer. I'm sorry, I'm with all these rowdy people here, man.
I'm sorry, we know
uh,
you're out of town.
so you have that. It's there, and we'll probably put it in the chat here now. So that's the link that you're going to use for the actual purchase that's there. Once a person makes the purchase, they should expect to get their credentials in about 1 to 3 business days for their login. So they'll be able to receive all of that at that particular time. That's after the actual purchase. And if you're working the March Gladness and you're trying to do the bonus one for it, then you're going to send it in, follow the instructions on the March Gladness on that side. If not, then that's fine. You'll get your full commissions off of it, but you won't get a bonus one in that regards. The person should be able to expect to have access to client, access to that subscription, and marching forward and doing everything they need to do with all the help and support that's there. And they should expect to be off the probate and have everything work out as they intend. You should expect, as the advocate, to be paid. Our commissions work on anything that's completed on the first, and the commissions are in, the revenue is in on the first to the 15th. Is paid on the last business day of the month. Everything the 16th of the end of the month is paid on the 15th or the next business day after the next month. So I think that can kind of cover the expectations that are set in place there regarding that piece there. I think that was your only question. Is that right, Lou?
I think that was a great answer, Derek. And he's a power. Trey is a part of a power line, man. He got all kinds of powerhouses in his line, so they'll definitely support and clarify anything that was missed. But I'll say this, everybody gives shout out to Trey. He's a young man. He's only been with us a little bit of time, and Trey said, "I'm planning. I probably got a sale lined up, ready to go tomorrow." So kudos to the young man for lining it up and getting it done. We need some of them young folks in their 20s and 30s, them babies wet behind the ear. No, I'm just joking. Y'all not babies, I know, but you guys are young to us. And we are so proud of our 20s and teenagers and 20s and 30s and even 40s. You guys are still super young too. We're proud of you guys for what you do. Those of us who are over 50, we understand the importance of estate planning because we got relatives and seniors ahead of us, and they taught us get our stuff together, get it in order because life comes at you fast. As David Richardson said, we're getting older by the second. But them young folks, y'all know how it is. They think they can live forever and they can run through brick walls and leap over tall buildings in a single bound. But that young man came on board and said, I want to get involved in this opportunity and help people, even though I'm still super young. I love it when the young folks get it. And we're being good examples to the next generation. That's what I call leaving a legacy. Jarvis Bailey, I saw your hand up a minute ago. Do you still want to unmute? Let's see if Jarvis is one to unmute. If not, I'll go over to the next hand up. I know I saw Mr. Bailey's hand up. Hey, Jarvis, are you in a place to talk? Going once? Going twice? So.
No, Coach answered it. Trey, yeah, can you hear me?
I got you. A little choppy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. A little choppy, but go
Can
ahead.
you hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Nope. You sound like a robot.
Can you hear me?
No, you sound like you're on Star Trek. Go ahead and mute.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't. Go ahead and mute back out.
I've been talking. Oh, okay. I must be in the best
Yeah,
spot.
you're in a bad spot.
Yeah, no. Coach answered my.
Okay, he said
Coach answered my question.
Now I can hear you. Yeah, Coach got you. Got you. All right, Norvell. Unmuting you.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I got you later, JB.
Yes.
Hey,
Hello.
Norvell, how are you, man?
I'm well. How you doing? Can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear. You sound like a normal guy. The other guy sound like a clone or a geek guy or some type of who cloned
Transformer.
Yeah, Transformer. Who cloned Jarvis Bailey? No, not Tyrone. But what's going on, Norvell? Good to see you or hear from you tonight. How are you?
I'm well, likewise. My question is, I work for the government as a purchasing agent, and I'm a vet as well. And I work with a lot of people who have businesses on the side. There's one gentleman, he has a gym, and he had athletes come in, and he does real well. But I was wondering, or my question rather, is there a way possibly my sponsor, Mr. Wendell Cheatham, somehow I can get him and others possibly vetted on to the installation I work, because we hold functions in our dining facility where vendors come in. We've had different insurance advocates come in trying to sell their business to us as government employees. So I was wondering, like, that'll be a great platform to get this word around because there's a lot of people that work this full time like me, but do their own thing on the side.
Oh, listen, we got to throw some hearts up for you, man. We're throwing up hearts. You see the hearts? Hey,
I
you
thought it
got
was a glitch. I was
no,
like,
that's not a glitch in the matrix.
okay.
Those are real hearts. Listen, we want to do that. So Norval, get with
Mhm.
Wendell, get with
Okay.
my brother Ed, my brother Edward, he enrolled Wendell, and
Mhm.
you guys let us know what you can do, and then we'll put the word out to our other advocates who want to participate, and they'll be more than happy to help circle the wagon and get out there and help you close some deals. And hey, listen, since you set it up, we can talk about split sales and everything. So because it's your whole platform, you're setting it up. We're not greedy. We want to share.
Right.
We want to share the wealth. So with our platform, we can do split sales and things of that nature too. That way,
Mhm.
if they help close the business, you're still getting paid because you can't be everywhere at every time.
Yeah. Actually, I had Mr. Cheatham speak with a friend of mine who brother owns I don't know how many Amazon trucks, but he has a number of employees. And he's a millionaire easy, but she said he'd definitely be interested in this, and she also has commercial property herself. So I have, a lot of people, and he spoke with her as well. But yeah, just getting the ball rolling.
Let's go. We're excited. We're gonna go with you, man. So hey, one team, one dream. We're united. A lot of folks don't understand the power of unity, but all
Yeah.
it takes is a handful of people to turn the whole world right side up. All you gotta do is look in your Bible. It only took a few people, and look what happened. Here we are today, 12. And look at us. Years later, here we go. We still.
That's right.
All right, you like that?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yes,
All right.
sir. I
So
appreciate it.
appreciate you. Let's go. Hey, Wendell, get with Norval. Norval, get with Wendell.
Yes, sir.
And Ed, you know what to do. Follow up with Wendell. All right. Someone said when the rates, this is a good question. Joe asked, when you get promoted based on that Insperity guide where I showed between like $2 up to like $6 or that nature on the comp plan, as you get promoted, your money go up too. How do you like that? So if you are let's say you're down here, you're brand new as a wealth advocate, and then you're making whatever you're making at that rank, but you already set that company up. And then you get promoted to a senior, then a district, then a regional, then a national. Your pay is going to go up accordingly, even though you set that company up a ways back. That's a beautiful thing, guys. So you're going to get that raise along the way. Good question, Joe. Hope that helped you. All right. Okay, good question here again. Someone said, "Hey Brian, Ron asked, is the PHI with the PEO benefits the same company? Would this be complementary or conflicts?" Okay, good question. So Ron, great question. The PEO company is a separate company, of course, from our corporate employee benefits company. So we use Project Blue for corporate employee benefits. We're partnered with Insperity for the PEO. But the good news is they go together like peanut butter and jelly. So I don't know if you guys like peanut butter and jelly, but when I was a kid, my lunch bucket was full of peanut butter and jelly. And I'm not too proud to admit that I had a Scooby-Doo lunch bucket. And some of y'all don't know who Scooby-Doo is, but I liked Scooby-Doo back when I was a kid. And I had a Scooby-Doo lunch bucket. And I had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And these two products go together like peanut butter and jelly, guys, then taste good together too. So whenever you set up with a company like Wendell and I did, we met with his doctor's office the other day, his doctor and his doctor's CEO that was running the practice. And we talked to them about our corporate employee benefits. They loved it. And then we said, and oh, by the way, can we introduce a product that can help your HR division? They was like, absolutely, we're open to that. Then I said, oh, by the way, do you have any self-employed people, anybody that's contractors? Maybe we can help them save some money on their health insurance too. Would you be open to that? They said, yes, we would. And I said, oh, by the way, for your corporate executives like you and your CEO, do you have your comprehensive estate plan set up? Oh, you don't? Would you be interested in that too? Yes, we would. Oh, well, I'm so happy. So we had 4 verticals in that one doctor's office, and they was like eating out the palm of my hands. When we was talking to them, their head was nodding up and down like a chicken pecking corn the whole time we was talking. And some of you guys don't know nothing about chickens pecking corn, but you had to be from the South to know what I'm talking about. So, what Wendell at? Wendell, you still on the call? I don't know if you're still here with us, but he was here earlier. Sometimes Wendell's phone be dropping off. He got that bootleg mobile. No, I'm just joking. Hey, Wendell, you still on the line with us? I don't see him, but he can come back and
Yes, I am.
Hey,
Here I
there he
am.
is. Hey, brother, I'm glad you're
All
with
right.
us.
All
Hey,
right.
hey, Wendell, how did you enjoy talking to the doctor and the CEO? Was that good?
Man, that was awesome, man. That was awesome. It pumped me up, man. I'm trying to talk to some more people, man. That's all I'm doing.
Hey, did you like the way they were vibing with every product we had?
Every, but you were smooth like pancakes, man. You led into each one of them just as smooth as silk. You know, you did a great job, Brian.
Hey, we were skating on ice when we met. It was
We
fun.
were, we were.
You should have seen Wendell and I. Y'all picture me and Wendell on ice skating together. That'd be a sight to see. Two big old brothers skating around on some ice, figure eight and
Oh boy.
everything. And Wendell was throwing me in the air, and I was catching him, and he was catching me. But I'm gonna tell you, it was fun though. It was fun.
Yeah.
You done lost your mind, bro.
Hey, Terrell, but that was me and Wendell. We was in there having a good time on that Zoom.
Yeah.
Hey,
Good job.
Wendell, make sure we follow up with that doctor now.
No
They
question. No
supposed to
question.
met. When was they supposed to meet? Monday or when was they supposed to meet?
Monday, I think it Monday.
Yeah, let's get them. Let's go and
Okay.
lock them down. The
All
fortune
right.
is in what? The follow-up, guys. The fortune is in the follow-up. All right, good question. Thank you, Wendell.
All right.
I had a lot of fun with you on that one. Hey, Jimmy West, Minister West, I see your hand is up. Let's unmute you.
Yes, sir. How everybody doing tonight?
Oh, we're blessed by the best. How about you?
Yes, sir. The same here. I just wanted to let you know that I had put that link in the chat that Coach was talking about that we can use for the estate planning. So if
Okay, I see
anybody,
it.
if they
There it
need,
is. Yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah, Jimmy put the link in the chat for the to how to enroll into the let me click on it, make sure it's working. Hold on, let me go there. I just clicked on it. All right. So that page, let me try another one. Hold on 1 second, because they have a lot of work going on our new website. So I always like to double check. Ladies and gentlemen, do not panic if you go to our website and you click to do a purchase or an enroll, okay, and the link is down because they're porting over everything from our landing page over to your replicated pages that should be coming real soon. So I just clicked that link and it gave me an error. So I'm going to put this one in here for everybody. All right, let me put it in there. Hey, Jimmy, click the link, make sure it work on your side. I'm
yeah,
gonna
it's
put it,
working on my side. I might have missed.
all right, I just dropped it in there again
Yeah,
from my side.
but
But you
I,
use that link for the estate planning software, guys. But email support, and let them know that you have a client, because right now that link is a master link. When you look at the title, you'll see master written in it. And that comes directly to corporate. And you have to email us and let us know that it's your sale. And if you want to make that one of your promotion sales, because remember, we got that special going this month with the March Gladness promotion. Please, by all means, log into your back office. Take a little bit of time out of your busy day. Go into your back office. As soon as you log in on the announcement banner, you'll see the March Gladness special. And the terms and conditions and guidelines are in the back office in your library, along with a video that will explain it in detail. Because right now, you can get a 2-for-1. If you go ahead out here and you make a sale on the estate plan software, if you choose, you can get a second one, and the guidelines explain how to do it at no cost to you. And with that extra one, which is a $1,995 value, you can do what you want to do with it. All right. You can be a blessing to the customer and give it to one of their relatives. You could sell it. You can use it as leverage to bring somebody into the business. If you're not a product of the product, I recommend you keep it for yourself and get on it. So we explained all that in the video, and you can read the guidelines in your back office. Thank you, Jimmy West, for putting that link in there and for bringing that back up. And thank you for the person who asked the question about that. All right, Claude, I see your hand is up.
Yes, sir. Quick question. We had discussed, ways of taking advantage of that, the free estate plan software package. If buy one get one free, and I want to make mention because I mean, you and Derek at one time had mentioned trying to keep away from that conversation when we got prospective clients on the earn. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? Because it could take away that mojo, So
That's right.
yeah. So I just want to make a mental note of that. I know we get caught up in it. I meant to mention it to you the other day, but I said when you was talking during the earn, you mentioned it. So I just want to put that to the front of your mind, bro.
Say it again.
So yeah, so ultimately, if we just want to make sure, because that gives us some leverage as advocates. If you got one of those things, you got to make that thing work for you. You got a free one, you can buy you, so you get you can tell a person, hey, I'm at an opportunity, I could get two for 3,000. So you get you split the one with the WTA, you have a free one, and you can directly sell one for 1,000. The person gonna get one, and you got another one for 1,000 that you put in your pocket. So, but that's just one way you can use that free one, especially if you already have a estate plan for yourself already. So.
Absolutely. When you get a chance, go into your library, your virtual office, and watch that video where Coach Johnson went through the explanation of this particular special that we have with the estate planning software. And then listen to what some of the advocates were saying, especially some of our co-founding advocates who've been with us for a while. They coming up with the wildest ways to leverage that software. And there's so many ways you can do it, as Claude was saying. So what you want to do is use it to your advantage. That's all he's saying. Make sure you hold on to it tight and don't just willy-nilly give it to whoever and whatever. Like today, I was talking to Dave Richardson, and David was like, hey, listen, I got the president of a church group with over 1.5 million people in he's the president of an organization. He said, I think I'm going to give him. I said, now, if you give the president with 1.5 million people in his organization, that might be a worthy gift. So, but don't give Bubba who not gonna open it up and Bubba not gonna Bubba Gump. Come on, no, I'm just joking. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That kind of guy. He's not gonna open up and use it, and then you want to save that for someone who definitely want to get their hands on it and learn different strategies on how to leverage it. So work with your teammates. Your teammates can tell you how they're gonna do it. Come to our calls that we have on Mondays, and like you did tonight, ask some folks, ask Jarvis Bailey, ask Claude, ask Ed, ask all these different leaders who are really involved in estate planning because they're really focused on that lane and they're moving a lot of them. So we can strategize together because we're one team, one dream. Who said that in the chat? Somebody said one team. That was Casey, or was it Cassie? That was yeah, Cassie put in there one team, one dream. Cassie, I'm quoting your words. You hear me? I see you.
I was actually quoting you back. I was
Oh,
like, "Oh, that's fire right
that's
there.
it.
That's fire."
Let's go. One team, one dream. All right. So someone said if you that was you. So what was that?
Yes.
What was that you said here? So if
I
we
was asking, so you're saying to me, because if I talk to a company and I say, I have possibly a solution for your corporation, when you get in there and you're talking to them, because this is what I heard, you noticed an opportunity to upsell them to something else. So when you
yeah,
get in there, you're really advocating for us also, and you're upselling at the opportunity presented to you. If you see an opportunity for Insperity, or if you see an opportunity for something else that we offer, you're saying, "Oh, I got that." And I thought that was awesome, if that's the case.
you got it. Hey, listen, two things. Let me answer her. Then Cassandra made a point too. So the link that I put, I'm gonna come back to you. The link that I put into the chat, Cassandra clicked it and it took to the enroll page to become an advocate. So my fault. Let me drop the link in there real quick because I don't want you guys to jump off the training and have the wrong link. I want to put the purchase link in there. So I'm gonna do it again. Thank you, Cindy. for being ever so vigilant and testing everything and helping the team out. So I'm going to drop the purchase link in. Don't use that link I sent in that first one. The one that said enroll, don't use that. Use your own link to enroll people in the business. But this purchase link is whenever you sell the estate planning software. I'm going to send that to everyone right now. Good catch, Cindy. Boom. All right. So that's the link for the estate planning. It's still saying enroll. Hold on, guys. It didn't copy the link. There might be some. Hold on. That should say subscribe. Let me click on it.
When I click it, it takes me to purchase.
Affiliate page. It's taking.
No, when I click the link that you just put in the chat for everybody,
Yeah.
it takes me to the purchase for the estate planning software.
It does?
Me
I
also.
see it.
Yeah.
Estate
That
planning
takes me
software
there
subscription.
too.
All
Yeah,
right,
it
got
takes.
it.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you all. Appreciate that. Yep, that's the one we want then. And remember, there is under construction. That's what I wanted to tell you. Matter of fact, I want you to see it. I'm going to show you guys how beautiful it's looking if I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Then I'm going to let you go. But I just want to give you a glimpse for some of you who are with us. Maybe I can get a glimpse of it. Maybe I can't. But it's coming around very nicely, and I'm proud of it. It took a long time, but it's always going to be a work in progress. But some of you have been waiting so long, and I understand because we've been building this site for a while. We want it to be just right, but it's starting to look marvelous, like you guys look marvelous. So let me share it with you. Hold on one second. I'm going to go in here, share my screen, and we're going to share that real quick. Bang. So y'all know we have a landing page currently, but the landing page isn't as nice looking as this one. Oh, that is our landing page. Can y'all believe it? These jokers. This is our landing page. I wanted to show you the new site that they're about to port over. They got me going. Boy, Derek and I have been on the call all day with those IT people. And they have our site almost ready, and they're moving everything over from our landing page to our corporate front-facing site. And it looks so good. And I told them, man, do that stuff at 3 in the morning, not 3 in the evening. Somehow they got it mixed up and were doing it at 3 in the evening. So my apologies to you. I wanted to surprise you, but hey, I'll surprise you. I'll surprise you next week when the thing go live. How that sound? So that's y'all keep praying that we go live with this thing next week so we can all have our replicated sites. JB, I'm going to get you JB in Georgia. So JB in Virginia, JB in Georgia, I'm going to hook you two up because Jarvis Bailey is coming your way, JB in Georgia. And you guys got to connect. All right. Somebody said the site had taken long because of our unique comp plan. That's right. Thank you for that. Our compensation plan is so unique. And the way we structured it, even the IT people who built thousands of these things, they said, man, your comp plan, dude, there's people who did the IT that want to come be a part of WTA. I was saying when we went through the comp plan, they were like, really? You really, wait a minute, you really tell me that your software is $1,995 and you're going to pay $1,300 of that out to your field, leaving the company $695. I said, dude, we don't even get $695 from it because remember, we have a license agreement. So Derek and I, we're eating real slim margins. They was like, most companies do it the other way around. They'll keep the lion's share and pay you guys the field less. And I was like, yeah, I know, but we're not most companies. We're blessed by the best. And we know it's better to give than to receive. And so they said, listen, man, when y'all get y'all site up and running, how can we become a part of this thing? Some of them live in Egypt, in the Philippines. We got one brother in Nigeria. You know the Nigerians want to get in. They always try to make money. That brother in Nigeria was like, I want to bring the whole Igbo tribe in. I said, what's the Igbo tribe? He said, I got connections in the U.S. And so we got people excited about what we're doing here with WTA. I tell you, God is good. Remember, before we close out, the website's coming. Don't forget to keep pushing the affordable medical benefits. WTAbenefits.com. WTAbenefits.com. Any and everyone from 0 and up who might need help with health insurance, just put them in the intake form. Because some of you, and you know who you are building some incredible residual income. I want to salute you guys. The payroll went out, and I see the money starting to compound because some people just fill out intake forms, and that little bit of money start coming. It'll be $50 here, $100 there, 200, 400, 800, 1,000, because they're constantly putting in those intake forms. WTAbenefits.com. Don't forget that. Anybody from zero to what? Up. Who? Zero. Now don't do zero. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's late. You don't want to put zero in there, okay? They don't need health insurance. Y'all know what I'm saying. From one and up. All right. Put them on in there and get yourself some money. Affordable medical benefits. We already talked about estate planning. You already heard from Insperity. And then last but certainly not least, the corporate employee benefits. Keep putting those business owners in front of me. I spoke to a guy today, and y'all hear me on this before I let you go. This business owner came to the call, and I said to him, we're going to give you 3 benefits. We're going to give you we're going to give you a life insurance, guaranteed issued life insurance, whole life policy from 25,000, possibly up to 250,000. I said, but the median is around 100,000. I said, you're also going to get some wellness benefits and some preventative health benefits. And you know what he said? Stop right there. And I was like, sir? He's like, I don't need to hear anymore. So I started feeling some kind of way. I'm like, dang, I just started explaining it to you. You going to stop me like that? And I said, so you don't want to hear anymore? He said, no, you got me. I said, I got you. He said, you got me at $100,000 life insurance policy. And I said, why is that? He said, listen to me. He said, my daddy died when I was 9 years old. He left a $100,000 life insurance policy for my mom. And he left me and my siblings a $100,000 life insurance policy. My mom took a portion of it, went back to school, was able to get an education and get us out to projects. And the rest of us had the money to start our college education. She left a little bit of money for all of us to start college. If it wasn't for that $100,000 life insurance policy, I don't know what would have happened to me. So if you're going to give every one of my employees a life insurance policy, I want into this program. What do I got to do? He didn't care about nothing else. I knew we was on the right track, guys. I knew that this is a huge opportunity we had right then because we can make residual income from the wellness and the life, but all the owner cared about was the life insurance policy. So you never know what somebody's hot button going to be. With that being said, hey, listen, guys, thank you for your time and attention tonight. We covered a lot of ground. I wanted to show you the website. We'll get that up and running for you. It was down temporarily, but I think it's back up now. For those of you guys who got people to enroll and sales to make, go right ahead and use the site. If you have any problems, shoot an email to support@Wealth Transfer Alliance, and we're going to jump right on it. So with that being said, let's come back again. Y'all know what it is. What's today? Today is what? Thursday already? So the next call will be when? Saturday on our WTA Earn. And make sure you pack that call out because you want to build your team so you can live the dream. Because you don't want it to just be you out here looking for companies and independent and people looking for estate plans and self-employed benefits and health insurance. You want a team of people so you can start building up your overrides and your spread. So unmute yourself, say good night, and you guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you for your attention.
Great call.
Great. Good job.
Thank you,
Good night,
guys. Have a
everyone.
good night.
Good night,
Thank
folks. Stay
you.
safe.
Good night.
Great information.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Aloha.
Blessings to y'all. Let's keep the prayers going, guys. Let's keep it going.
Absolutely. Good night, my brother.
Good night, Claude. Thank you for your tip, brother. Thanks.
Sir.
BR, you did it again. Good night.
JT, I got your message, man. Let's try to catch that guy tomorrow.
All right, till tomorrow.
The gentleman
Okay.
you were talking about around that time frame?
Yes.
Yeah, let's work on. I heard your message. Thank you.
Okay, then. Very good.
All right, blessings.
Bye-bye.
Brian, I got I put the information, got forwarded to the CFO in front of me, and I gave her some information. So they're going to be reaching out to us, and I already told them, let me know, and I'll be dialing you directly.
Which company is that? You know, you and
The
I,
jail.
you in the hopper. Oh, okay. Hey, listen, I've been chasing down the other guy too. Haven't caught him yet. But what I don't want to sound like, I got commission breath, like I'm chasing him. So I just leave a message from time to time.
I got you. All right.
We
I know
go,
Keith sincere appreciate that.
we go slow walk them.
All right, bro. Appreciate it.
All right, man. I love it.
Mr. President.
Hey, Tim, I know you waiting on that video, right?
Yeah, waiting on that video, and I'm gonna ask you, did you get our flyer for our seminar?
I think that you sent that to support today, right?
I sent it to info at
Info.
Wealth Transfer Alliance.
All right. All right. So yeah, Coach got it, and he's out of town, so I kind of let him handle that. But I'll look over it and see if he had a chance to look over it, and we'll get back to you with that one. Now the video though, the video. Do you want Saturday, this Saturday, or last Saturday? It's up to you.
Yeah, the last Saturday that you did.
Not this one that just passed. The one before that.
No, the one that just passed.
The one that just passed. The opportunity video. That one.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. I think we had that recorded. Definitely will look it over. And then also, Saran, man. Saran doing great things, brother.
Yeah.
He's about to build a team. He had a gentleman on the call with me today. It went super well. And he's going to be presenting soon, himself to a church, I believe. So
yeah, to a group of bishops on the 15th.
Yep. Great things are happening in your group. All right, brother. All right, everyone. Blessings to you guys. And good night.
Brother.